Guys, a moment of silence for our quad dreams because they're dead. Thank you very much, Manchester City. But actually, welcome into the post game show. By the way, as we hit the like at the start, Canva, not to let you in backstage too much, that the program I use to make my graphics has now come back online. So while we'll chat away at some point, I'll get it actually our regular on-stream graphics onto the screen already. But we'll have to do what we're doing. Welcome in to the Fire Them Cannons post game show. I'm Anton. I'm alongside Jake. And yeah, the game finishes Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0. And I just want to check in on our Arsenal fan base to, this evening or whatever time you're watching in the world. How are you guys going? Let us know. We're here for your emotional support. We are here to.
This is the therapy session.
This is the therapy session, and I underestimated us because yesterday I told Nez, I'm like, hey, you should come on here because me and Jake would have like not much to talk about because we're probably going to be really upset. But now I underestimated the power of the therapy, and of course we're going to have plenty to talk about. In fact, more than if we had won, because all I would have been doing was a massive gloating session in how we're going to win the quad, and now we're going to actually have the most clear analysis of Arsenal football that we have had the entire season. But firstly, we do need to do the honorable thing. Jake, I imagine that you've messaged Nez and congratulated him for winning at being yesterday.
Of course.
And of course, David takes his chance. He goes, I don't think you will capitulate with the title. And that's the one that really matters in this equation, however, completely outplayed in the second half.
Facts.
David, facts. And you know what? Big ups. Because me and Jake were just talking backstage. The national media would like to have made this one more important than it actually was, which was we've made it very clear, even when we previewed this game, that this is about the Carabao Cup and the Carabao Cup alone. At this point, it shouldn't really affect how the season goes. I also do like, by the way, how some of our players have reacted to the news. Declan Rice talked about it afterwards, and he was saying, look, we're going to use this. We're going to push on for the rest of the season because we've got so much to play. There's no reason for us to put our heads down on this one result. It's unfortunate. We've got a lot to learn about this, but we've got so much to play for. And the truth is, and maybe this will be the most delusional thing I say all day, but I got to say it.
Probably not.
You know what? If we win the treble at the end of the year, we won't remember this,
I'm gonna have to disagree because I disagreed with Asif when he said that, so I can't not say the same thing now. It's still a cup, man. It still hurts. I'm gonna remember even if we win the treble, because if we win the treble, I'm gonna be like, damn, we were legit one game away. We were one half away from a quad. But I'm not gonna be upset, obviously. But I'm not gonna just it's still there. You know what I mean? It's still there, even if we win the treble.
The obvious elephants in the room, and we'll get it. And David's waiting for me to say this. The Carabao Cup final has now passed, and Arsenal have still not won a trophy. So, you happy? I'm
sure David's happy.
Yeah. I mean, he's.
Well,
happy.
I mean, his rival, his little bros, those noisy neighbors, did were the victors.
Oh my God! By the way, Pep Guardiola again. He's like trying to kick the advertising board, and he's like he always likes he's having some form of still like middle-age crisis playing out in front of the world, even in victory today.
We were actually discussing this on the Cup Chasers on Wednesday. We think that his wife has gone back to Spain or something. He's got like some domestic issues or something. There's got to be something like that going on.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of frustration and rage coming out in that kick when he kicked Who knows?
Yeah, but look, to be fair to him, even in his middle-age crisis, he still got Arteta's number, doesn't he? And we'll discuss. So I think we're going to break. Me and me and Jake already have kind of discussed this. If you guys watched the terrace, I kind of broke it down almost, I feel like perfectly. I was congratulated by a lot of people who are generally very blunt with me, saying, "Hey, Anton, you got that analysis absolutely spot on the game." And I think it's the fact that we had about half an hour to go from when we were 2-0 down to the end, and you kind of get this clear sense of clarity of, hey, this is what we didn't do right. This is actually what these are the players who we have underestimated and we have sorely missed. They all have certain roles in the team that maybe we sit here and we criticize, and they get underappreciated, or they do something so well on a regular basis that we don't call out or congratulate them or big them up for the things that they do well, which is fall under the radar. But this is how I feel like. I'll give you my brief analysis on the game, which will be similar to what I said on the terrace. Then I'll let Jake chime in. And guys, of course, keep the comments flowing. I know that a lot you guys have stuff to say. I know, Rookie, if you're in here, you're going to tell us that, if we had a Sanu Drago, that, we would have had more control in the midfield today. You know what? You're probably right, actually.
Now that we're thinking about it.
Yeah. So look, this is how I feel about the game today, and I'll kind of break it down in stages. I think a big miss, and to be honest, when the news dropped, and that was about Eze not being in the team, something hit me. Number one, which was I had a weird, like when he came off against Leverkusen, I thought, and I remember we were talking about on the post-game show, like, is Eze okay? And then nobody asked Arteta about it. There was nothing said about it. He took the post-match interviews, everything.
Pictures in training from yesterday and the day before.
Interviews for the game with Sky Sports, everything. Yeah. And we're like, okay, it's whatever. Eze's fine.
Good. He's good, yeah.
Didn't make it today, and we should have actually even just thought in the back of my mind, like, there must be at least some sort of chance he misses out. Mr. Wembley, like he scored in 3 of his last 4 trips to Wembley. That includes for the international team, for England as well. We definitely miss him today, but not for the reasons that you think. I feel like Arsenal, for the first time this season, and this is the bread and butter, just the basics of, if I could tell you one reason why Arsenal have been in a position where now we have, now that's up to 4, only lost 4 times out of 50 games this season, control. One of the things, ironically, that I have criticized Man City for, and one of the reasons why I thought that we had the edge over Man City in this game, as well as throughout in the title race, their lack of control. And today, at around 20 minutes, the two teams traded places. Freaky Friday sort of stuff. Our problems became their problems, and their problems became our problems in terms of control. We couldn't get anything. We couldn't get out of the defense. We couldn't link the midfield with the attack. In fact, every time we tried to play the ball into midfield, Rodri would squeeze. And about Rodri, for me, I know Nico O'Reilly gets the headline, one of the man of the match because he got 2 goals, and fair enough. But Rodri, for me, was the reason why Man City won this game. He all of a sudden just pulled back the curtain, pulled the years back, pulled, whatever was going on with his injury. It was all good today. He looked like prime Rodri, and every time we tried to get through the midfield, he put the squeeze on and he won the ball back. And it was like it spread to all of his teammates as well. All of a sudden, Bernardo is peeling the days back, although Bernardo should have gotten at least one yellow card in this game. I don't know how he escapes with that, but his overall performance in terms of was Bernardo Silva, I felt that defense, which I looked at on paper, I'm like, man, we didn't attack him well enough because we couldn't get that far up the field to actually attack him, because their midfield absolutely 100% without a doubt won the battle. This was one of, I'd say, Declan Rice's worst performances. This was most definitely, and I cannot believe I even saw a worse performance of Zubimendi than I've seen in some of the recent weeks. I was saying after the Leverkusen game looked like he had a second wind. Well, today, if I'm going to give him, I'm going to spoil this. Zubimendi gets about a 1 or a 2 as a player rating today. It was god awful, and Kai Havertz is right there with him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Declan Rice, when I'm saying he's bad, he's probably a 4, and that is an all-time low for me because that's about half of his regular standard. And for me, it's as simple as that. It's the midfield, and then it was the fact that we retreated and we couldn't get out. And by the way, Hincapié picks up a critical yellow card. Now, the whole sequence drives me nuts because, number one, Bernardo Silva commits a foul 10 seconds earlier. In fact, double foul. Then he does descent. I believe it was Saka who he tackled. And then when Saka's on the ground, he tries to like lift him up, and nothing. 10 seconds later, Hincapié actually doesn't even make contact. I think it was with Nico. Was it with Nico O'Reilly? Actually?
No, it was Semenyo.
Was it Semenyo? Doesn't even make contact. No, it was Shirky. It was Shirky. I remember it was Shirky.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. Gets a yellow. So I'm thinking, okay, he lets Bernard off the hook because it's early, but there's lesser of a challenge on Hincapié, and now he gets a yellow. Whatever you think about it, I don't like to discuss refereeing decisions because
they're all shit.
They're all shit. But that affects Arsenal's game. Hincapié is having to play safe, and all of a sudden, here comes that little avenue. And what's really, really annoying about this is prior to that incident, I feel like we had City at arm's length.
They had nothing.
Holland had not had a singular touch inside in the attacking half at that point. He was being kept very far, and then when the crosses came into him, Saliba and Gabriel had him on lockdown. Everything was like the way we set up defensively against them to start off with was absolutely perfection.
Fine.
But then what happens with Pep, and this is what the greatest managers do, when they find the tiniest chink in the armor, the tiniest way in, they'll keep digging into that hole until it slowly throughout the game grows larger and larger and larger and larger. And you can see Semenyo starting to attack Hincapié, and slowly he starts to get more advance on him and getting more chances, and the crosses start coming in. Then he starts getting past him. And at the end of that half, we're just holding on, and I'm like, there was the indirect free kick that Semenyo took, and that went kind of weird. Like he probably should have found Shirky at the edge of the box, and I felt we were let off on that as well. And we all saw, I don't know, Jake, where you were sitting, we all were like, hey, this is a problem. Calafiori's got to come on it now.
Halftime. I actually called for it in the 35th minute. Yeah. I actually legit said Hincapié needs to come off, but he's not gonna do it. So halftime, please. But I also knew he wouldn't do it at halftime, even though he should have.
Yeah, I know. But so far, I was listening to the halftime reporter saying, "Hey, Calafiori, he's been warming up for the entire of the half." But from what I'm told, Arteta's probably going to wait until around the 75th minute to introduce him. He wants to give Hincapié, a chance. Well, the players that are here, a chance, whatever. I'm like, what the hell? 70. That's an extra half an hour added on.
Crazy.
And for me, that is. I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories about Mikel Arteta. Hey, he instructs the players to do this or to play in this way. Or I actually don't believe it. Or, to play sideways and play cowardly. I don't believe in that. Now, I believe that Arsenal played the occasion rather than playing the football match in the opponent. 100% absolutely. And the mentality thing comes into play today without a shadow of a doubt, because some of the weirdest, uncharacteristic shit that we have not been doing all season today happened today on a cup final where we were here sitting talking here about 24 hours ago, being like, one thing's for sure, we're going to get a good effort from this team. We were wrong. And I have to hold my hands up. I don't know what happened. There are a lot of criticisms today for our attacking players, but for me, it comes down to the place where I felt like has been the safest for us the whole year, which has been our midfield. And we were absolutely beaten in the midfield today. And you got to congratulate Man City for it. But what happened with Nkapé spreads like a virus, because all of a sudden on the other side now, Ben White is now struggling and Jeremy Doku is beating him time and time and time again. And Arsenal's defense is retreating and retreating and retreating. And all of a sudden we can't get out. And we can't get that second ball in that gets us at least up the pitch enough to win a foul or a free kick or something to relieve the pressure. We're just giving it back. And this is where the Kepa Arrizabalaga thing comes into play here. Here's the difference between Kepa Arrizabalaga and David Raya, that everyone is trying, is analysis on this, I'm just going to be honest with you, is wrong. I was trying to say on the terrace, I was kind of like blocked from saying it at different times because people are just trying to get their views in. And this is the thing. David Raya is the most press-resistant goalkeeper I've ever seen in my entire life. Do you know why? Because he'll grab the ball, he'll catch it, and then he's quickly rolling it out, trying to get it out as quickly as possible. You see how he's kind of running, and he's always like in a rush to get the ball out, because that avoids getting stuck and caught by the press.
Right.
That is the difference between Raya and Kepa. With the difference, by the way, Kepa obviously failed to collect a cross that we've seen Raya catch a million times, but I've also seen Raya in recent weeks make similar gaffes like that as well. So, but it's the press resistance part. And I felt Kepa being stuck inside the press, not allowing us out, gave City confidence, and they smelt blood. The minute you see Kepa taking 13 to 14 to 15 seconds to try to get the ball out, and then he kicks it long, and we don't even, by the way, we're
that's not all his fault, though.
Yeah, no, agreed. It's part of give again. We
gotta give
credit
it. You gotta
City,
but you also have to look at the guys who didn't figure it out, who didn't find the hole in their line of four. The guys who didn't, okay, so they're clogging the lane where Declan Rice is going fine. Okay, so they're clogging the lane where Zubimendi is going fine. Guess who would have come short? Eze, Odegaard, Marino,
Havertz.
Yeah, no. He doesn't do that.
Right. That's my problem. That's why Havertz for me. The guys...
Even Trossard sometimes comes into the middle when we have that difficulty. But today, no one took initiative. No one took and said, look, obviously Man City don't want to press Kepa. They're going to stand in the passing lanes and just be patient and wait for him to make a mistake, which he did on a couple of different occasions. Just gave the ball away or hit it all the way to the other keeper or whatever, or put it up for a 50-50 for Gyökeres or Havertz, whatever. But we didn't do enough of, what pattern did we run as far as trying to build up with Kepa? At any point, did we run? No one ran behind the guys, and the play where Rice will run behind Haaland or the center forward, and Raya will lead him with the ball, and he plays it, and Rice comes onto it and plays it to the other. We didn't do that, not even once, not in either direction. So yes, I understand that Kepa is not the passer that Raya is. He's not the shot stopper that Raya is. He doesn't have that press resistance, that quick release, but it's not all on him.
But he's also not the scapegoat. This is
exactly. It's not all on him.
This is the thing that's very annoying, guys. And I gotta give criticism. By the way, we're all hurting, and I feel I'm in the pub with all the different gooners, and it's crazy because you can feel the frustration from everyone, from the most positive to the most negative. It's just a collective. We are a family, but we are scapegoaters.
That's fair.
We all have our guy. We've always we, but whether you like to admit it or not, we all have our players that we don't necessarily like in general in the team. We all have our favorites that we like to defend in the team. We're either Arteta inners or Arteta outers, and I feel like in those moments, those stuff start to bubble onto the surface in our reaction. Maybe seeing a lot of scapegoating of Kepa from the people who have been saying, "Why didn't you play Raya?" And it's like that's a seed that we planted from the start that's bubbled and bubbled and bubbled, and the worst possible thing could have happened, which is
he made the mistake.
Raya has a gaff. I mean,
Yeah.
not Raya. Kepa has a gaff. Yeah. But, I'm seeing people like criticizing Gyökeres, and Gyökeres didn't have the greatest of games today, but there's no reason to scapegoat him. Yeah. He's not a run. He's useless. What does he do? Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I think a lot of emotional analysis just forgets tactics and forgets why things happen, and they just start yelling.
But while everyone is sitting there having like all these like emotional outbursts, I've got these moments of clarity where I'm like, these are the players we underestimate, and I'm going to name them. Jurrien Timber deserves a massive apology from me because in recent weeks, I have had criticisms for his ability in the attack, and I'm saying how he's holding us back in the attack. Sorry, but I have fallen off of my principles, which is defense first, which is off the ball. And Jurrien Timber's presence off the ball was sorely missed today. Because I swear he would have had Doku in a vice like he has had in the past when those two teams have gone head to head. I underestimated Calafiori's ability to invert and to add extra stability in midfield from the left back position. And you were crying out for it for ages. And when he finally came in, it's sort of like when I haven't had my morning coffee and I'm really, really groggy, and all of a sudden I drink that morning coffee. I'm like, that's how I felt when I suddenly saw Calafiori play at left back and him actually giving us at least 5% of control of midfield rather than 0. Like you see that part? Martin Odegaard deserves a huge apology today because even with the news of Eze being out, I certainly believe in my bones, if Odegaard plays and starts and he's fully healthy, we win this game today because we would have control in the midfield. We would have an out ball. Eberechi Eze, I don't think he needs an apology, but for a lot of us, we're trying to figure out what does he bring to this team. Today, I think you found that out. And for me, I know exactly what Arsenal's best 11 is now. I do have a moment of clarity. It's Raya, it's Calafiori, it's Gabriel and Saliba, it's Jurrien Timber, it is Zubimendi and Rice. All right, they both had bad days today. That I will just say, but you have to give credit to Rodri, who is, when on his day, the best defensive midfielder in the world. Right, he was that today. I'd probably say it's Eze on the left, Odegaard through the center, Saka on the right still, and Gyökeres up front. And I do think that Havertz, his role in this team is definitely a striker now. And I push this. This is my last apology, and that's why this apology goes out to Martin Odegaard as well. A second one. I pushed him down the pecking order of 10s. When I saw how Havertz was playing with Gyökeres and giving Gyökeres chances. Then when I see how Eze is becoming a match winner. When I saw Saka experimented in the middle. And I'm disrespecting Martin Odegaard, the skipper of Arsenal Football Club. And Jake was telling me, hey, we've really missed Martin Odegaard, his leadership and what he brings. And I kind of laughed it off. And I apologize to you, my brother, for that. You were right on it all along. But yeah, there was a bit of a moment of clarity today on this football team and what we weren't doing correctly. And Jake, if you want to add a little bit more, to the analysis, especially now while I'm trying to get our graphics back on the screen, Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've broken it down almost completely here from what I was saying before. Um, and then of course we'll also read out all the comments because I do see we have them. But I do want to, guys, bear with me for a second. 14 times, which I'm still. um, I see you and I see Tone, and I will get to you guys' comments in a second. But I do want to get to Jake, and let him kind of just give you how he feels and tactically anything I missed out, buddy, or how you feel kind of in this game. And I didn't even get into the Nico O'Reilly goals, by the way. Um,
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, I'm gutted. Obviously, it's tough pill to swallow, but I think that I agree with most of what you're saying. I definitely think that there was a hole in the midfield today. We didn't get anybody close enough to Gyökeres, so he was isolated. When we did hit the ball long, and it was a halfway accurate pass, Havertz was going for the first ball. And so Rice and Zuby were definitely not close enough to Havertz. But if Rice and Zuby aren't close enough to Havertz, and Havertz goes for the first ball, and Gyökeres is already ahead of him, of course Rodri's going to win the second ball because he's the only one there. And so I think that the difference in the way Havertz plays the role is really what cost us today, and that's why, like, honestly, like, I'm not going to get on the team. I'm not going to get on Arteta. Yes, I think there were mistakes made. Yes, I think there were things that we could have done better, but also and I'm not going to blame injuries for anything. We didn't, you got to play with who's available to play, and you got to go out there and win the game still, But as you said, it was obvious, how poor we were in the midfield today showed that we need somebody in there that can connect. It's about connection, when your forward is isolated, especially when you can't get out, when you can't get Saka on the ball, you can't get Trossard on the ball for even half a second to try and relieve the pressure. You have to have somebody who can win the second ball, bring it down, shrug off Rodri's tackle, shrug off O'Reilly's tackle, and find the next pass just so you can get a breather. Just so you can get a breather. And that's what we missed today. And honestly, obviously I'm not going to pile it on anybody, but when that's the case, I think Saka did not step up and be that person when he was the one we have to look to in these kinds of moments because he's got the armband, and you're the star boy, you got the big contract, you're the guy, and it's a little disappointing, of course, that, we didn't, like you said, I think we definitely played the occasion instead of the match and the opponent. I think in the first 20 minutes, we definitely tried to execute our tactics. But one thing about this team that is somewhat, I guess it's a little bit frustrating, but I understand it in the context of our progression and our growth as a team and as a unit and as a group, is that when our initial efforts, tactics, and idea and game plan kind of are dulled, are nullified a little bit, we tend to kind of back off of them. The exact opposite of what you were saying about Pep finding a hole in the armor and just like a boxer, like in a boxing fight, if we're fighting and you hurt my arm, my left arm, and so I can only kind of bring it up this high, of course you're going to be punching me over here the whole time, right? And we don't really do that. We don't stick to what we're doing. We did it versus Everton. We just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. And we didn't do that today. When Man City proved that they had our number and were able to stop what we were doing, and then they had a time on the ball, time in control. Because remember what I said in the preview was that I expected this game to be us to have control for a little bit, and then Man City to have control for a little bit, and then we would have control for a little bit, and then they would, and it'd go back and forth. But we never got that second period of control before the Kepa mistake. And I think that the 1-2 punch really knocked the wind out of us. I think we were shell-shocked and conceded quickly again because of the fact that we were shell-shocked and we were playing the occasion and not the game. But I will say, on a more positive note, that champions actually never lose. You either win or you learn. And we have shown, and this is something I have to give Arteta credit for, and it's something I've been very, very kind of annoyed, frustrated. I am impatient, but Arteta's not. And slowly but surely, we've learned and we've gotten better and we've gotten a little bit better. We've gotten a little bit better and we've gotten a little bit better. Now, let me ask you this. Did Man City win the Champions League the first time they made a final?
No, they did not.
And then let me ask you this.
Chelsea.
Has this group ever been to a final together?
Never.
We have now. We have now. And we'll be back. This group needed to experience a final together. I was so happy that Arteta stood there and made them watch Bernardo lift that trophy up in the stands. We needed to see that. We needed to see that. We needed to experience what it's like to get caught up in the occasion and have the occasion overwhelm us. So that next time we know what that feels like. So that next time, if our goalkeeper makes a mistake, we won't immediately be like, oh shit, 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 And we'll be able to handle it. We'll be able to deal with, because we've been there. But you got to be there. You got to get there to experience it in the first place. And I think that now that we've gotten there and we've experienced it, I think it's going to be invaluable experience that we will take forward. And
look, I always pull out the parallels between this Arsenal team and the Eagles. And tonight, what I feel like is when the Eagles lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, 3 years ago now? How 2 years later, then they went ahead and they beat them convincingly. Maybe the next time we play in a final, we will have a little bit of self-reflection, like as you said, and we will learn from the pain and we'll be able to adjust and realize how to handle the occasion. Because the one of the biggest things that, like, for me, that maybe there's a bit of a doubt that crept in thinking about this, but now that you've spoken about, maybe it's actually a positivity, which is like, do you realize in order, like we're talking about quads and trebles, whatever, right? Only one of them, which is the one that we obviously want the most and the one that looks like most likely to happen, doesn't require needing to go through that process of being in a final, right? The other ones do. So you make the back to FA Cup Wembley, which, by the way, Arsenal over the years, I was actually making a joke with my dad. I'm like, if today we were playing the FA Cup final, we would have won. Is this something to do with the freaking Carabao? It always eludes us. We should have known better. I'm thinking about Birmingham City. Last time we played City, it's the the only times we go to Wembley and don't come out with anything, it's the damn Carabao Cup or the Carling Cup, which it was the Birmingham
Capital
City
One Cup.
Yeah.
For a while.
But we need to be able to learn how to do this. Champions League final, right? Now that's a huge one. Like, can you imagine the pressure upon, like, you know what I'm thinking about, Jake? We were all so sure that we were going to beat Inter Milan if we made to the final of the Champions League last year, even after having seen PSG destroy him. But PSG had to go through the pain of losing a final as well prior to that too. Maybe it wouldn't have been as straightforward for Arsenal. Maybe it's not as easy as, click and enter here. I think we've learned a bit of a valuable lesson today, unfortunately, and that's nothing that we wanted to be having or talking about, but that just could be the case. All right, I've got some.
I mean, it's like I told you. It's like I told you after the first response I gave to you when you texted me after the game. It's like I was saying, man. The road to success is littered with failure. You can't if you're afraid to fail, if you never fail at something, you'll never be good at it. That's for damn sure. You're never going to be good at something if you don't fail at it first. And so we got to a final. Yeah, we failed today. We failed. We shit the bed. Definitely did. And it hurts, but we were there.
I will be answering your comments in a second. Just bear with me as the graphics on the screen change. 1, 2. Here we go.
There we are. Now we're cooking with gas.
Now we're back.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's a terrible overlay. I don't want to see that.
I know.
That makes me sad. You took all that time to do that? Oh man. It even says Man City winners on it. Oh my goodness.
I know. By the way, you here watched the trophy lift. I didn't.
I did. I always watch trophy lifts. Always.
Did you? Did we go up to collect as the losers as well? We did.
Yeah.
Did we get? Medals?
They did it real fast. The medals were wrapped around the actual medal. They didn't put it on their necks. They just handed it to them.
Me and my dad just raced out the pub because I had to get back home for the terrace.
No, I watch everything like that because those moments in my life have been more motivating than any moments I've ever had ever. When I was in high school, my junior year, we lost the state final. In the state championship game, we lost. I was never better than I was at soccer or football after that game. I trained all summer. I took a million penalty kicks. I was never not gonna. We lost on pens, and I had to watch from the sideline. I would never, ever, ever. I would never put myself through that again. And so I took a million penalties so that I was made sure I was in the top 5. I busted my ass. I ran every day. Dude, the motivation from losing like that is so freaking massive. That's why I'm glad that they watched Bernardo lift that trophy, because every time they're feeling a little bit of pain in the game or in practice, every time they're feeling like, man, I'm too tired, I can't go on, they'll see fucking Bernardo Silva lifting a trophy in their dome on their head top, and they'll be like, oh, fuck that, I'm going for this. I'm gonna find that little bit extra. I'm gonna work that little bit extra harder, because now I know what it feels like to be this close and have it snatched. So yes, I did watch the trophy lift.
And look, the positives on that is that we felt this way in 2023, 2024, when we could have on the last day won the Premier League season, and we sat there and Teta gave the speech being like, we cannot give up. We must keep going. We must continue. We must get better. We will do not be satisfied. And I feel like in the Premier League, we've got that pain, and we're starting to learn our lessons of how to navigate a Premier League season, which is the good news, which is why I feel confident that we'll close the deal with this 9-point gap. And that should be the silver lining. And that's why I kind of felt like today's the pressure in terms of, I feel like we built, and I apologize. Like, I'm doing a lot of apologies. I always do it when we fucking lose. I actually like being right and being like, I told you so. But I feel like I do have the ability to then go the other way when, and be,
when it doesn't
at
go
least
our way,
admit defeat and not be stuck in.
Hey, they were better. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you come up, you get to the day, and on the day, a team is better than you, and that happens.
Yeah,
and that happens.
But Terry was saying, hey, and I was disagreeing, and it was actually pissing me off a little bit, which was like, guys, the City are the one that needs to win this the most. He kept saying, Arsenal, your guys are 9 points clear. You guys are going to get one anyway. So today's a free hit. And I'm saying, like, we haven't won a trophy under Arteta since 2020. There's no such thing as a free hit today. We have to go ahead and win it. But regardless if that was the fact or not, that should have been the mentality anyway from the players, which is the pressure is on them. Their season is on the line today, not ours. Because for all intents and purposes in the league, we've basically beaten the punch. Now, I do think that there's a little bit of an element of this gives them a little bit of a spark to life, and they're probably going to win games that they potentially would have dropped points in had they lost today, I feel. So there's a little bit of that, but As
I
long
don't
as
know.
we take care of-
It's an odd
Yeah.
timing. The timing is so odd because now we have a 2-week break from playing with your club, and so it's. I think it'll be a little bit.
And then it's
dulled.
Southampton, by the
I think
way.
it'll be a little bit dulled, but it's Liverpool for them. So what happens if Liverpool knocks them out the FA Cup right after this?
Right.
Is it all doom and gloom again? You know, so the timing is really weird.
Yeah, it is. It is really weird. Let's get into these comments. I've already read David's one. Big ups to David. 14 times. Yes, you know what? We haven't gone over the line yet. You can keep your name as 13 times, but 14 times is what I would refer to you as. 365 says, "Evening, lads. Good evening to you." I would say good evening, but it really isn't. Yeah, I know. I feel ya. Serious question. What was the game plan from the 20th minute? Lump it long and hope for the best. Very good question.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's what I was saying about how sometimes when teams figure us out, we kind of back off of our original game plan. And I think we did. And so the question is right. The question is a
good question though, by the way.
And you know why it is? Because it was tough to see. It was tough to see because we were idealists. We looked idealists, and that's why you're having this confusion. He's right to ask this question. Or she.
Yeah.
It might be it. I don't know.
Yeah. Very good, because I could tell you exactly what went wrong or what was going on, but what was Arteta's initial intention?
What we did in the first 20 minutes was the plan.
What we did in the first, to be honest, the Nkapia yellow, as I said, and this is, by the way, the fact that one yellow can affect us that much is not good, and this is why, by the way. We both said Calafiori should start, and this is probably why Calafiori should have started. Because, again, we're talking about starters and finishers. The Everton game, weirdly enough, was, for me, the template for today.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
And that's why I was saying, hey, let's start Havertz, let's start Calafiori, because that way that you know that you can put things in the reverse. At least if you had Calafiori... Okay, on a yellow, at least what Calafiori brings to you is the control element to the game that we were talking about, the spontaneity in where he pops up in different parts. And the attack, I don't think, would have suffered as much. And I feel like naturally the players would have gone a little bit more into, all right, this is an open ball game. What I would say is that we worried too much about conceding in the first half. Or having being sent down to 10 men, or the worst, or we were a bit too cautious. I'm pulling back in my chair, but we were a bit too cautious, and that started to seep in a little bit too much until the fact that we were like totally cautious, if that makes sense. I think the game plan should have been with the scenario that we were in, which is, all right, this is an open game. Let's attack them, even if they come at us. I got Gabriel and I got Saliba, who, by the way, were clearing everything anyway until the goalkeeper mistake. Let's just try to get that ball in through the midfield. Let's try to get the ball out to Trossard. Let's try to get the ball out to Saka. Let's do our hardest here to expose Man City's weakness, which never got exposed in the entire game, and that's got to be Arteta's biggest regret. Raise your hand. I guess virtually. Me and Jay can do it, we're on the camera. If when you saw the starting 11, you saw that Ruben Diaz was out, and that their back four was O'Reilly, Kusanov, who was the other center? Ake, and who's the other? Who's the other?
It was Nunez.
And you didn't say, oh, wow, this is the best case scenario in terms of us getting, second best. The other one would have been Max Lane. The minute I saw Diaz saying that he was out, I was like, Max Lane, no.
I was way too worried about Eze being out to be worried about their lineup, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. That was sort of like the net positive. But that was still a weakness for us to exploit. And we did at the start. And had Havertz actually hit the back of the net in the opening few minutes, this would be a totally different game. And it probably would have been a game where we exposed them over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But we we got so hazy in the motions of the game and what was going on and the red card and the yellow card and all that stuff that we lost the headspace, the vision of what we're supposed to be doing. We veered off of the target. They had a bigger weakness in today's game than we did that we never exploited. Never. And that should have been the goal. Okay, we got a booking for a left back. Cool. Let's get at them. Couldn't do it. We were way too concerned about clearing the ball all the time, instead of, hey, let's get ourselves on the ball and let's get at them. Let's be aggressive. Like Jake was saying in the call yesterday, we are better than them. We should be standing tall. And who gives a shit who plays for them? We're going to show you that we're better than you and how we've grown. And unfortunately, we at no point today, probably outside of the first bit when Havertz misses a shot.
Well, James Trafford's triple save was half decent. You got to give him that.
Yeah.
Back Saka shots.
Yeah.
Even though Saka should probably do better.
But that should see when Man City started seeing the chink in the armor, they attacked it. When we saw the chink in the armor, we didn't go back to it again. That's the thing that. By the way, this is a new thing that I'm just thinking about as we're talking that we're going to regret. But that's a great question. Honestly, I don't know what the tactic was meant to be because of the circumstances in the game, and I just think that we wanted to do what we're doing at the start, and the yellow card threw it off. And by the way, that is poor planning. You have to go through, your analytics team needs to go through these scenarios, being like scenario A, scenario B, scenario C, hypothetical. That's what half the shit you do in these meeting rooms is like, okay, hypothetical scenario. Oh, like teams trained to play with 10 men, right? For the hypothetical scenario that you get a man sent off. Let's shift into that. There has to be also a hypothetical scenario, and it's not like a crazy one, which is defender gets booked.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's poor planning. Every single time we had the ball, we were so sloppy with it. It was like yeah, I know. That I think, to be honest. So much for the control football we have. It's non-existent only when teams give us possession. I mean, I wouldn't say I was non-existent today.
Yeah.
Every other game will be back against Southampton, I promise. Actually, you know what? The only other game, by the way, where we didn't have control was, weirdly enough, Mansfield Town away.
We didn't have control against Brighton.
True, but we also had a lead.
We were in control, but we let them control the game.
No, right. But I'm saying we didn't have any control.
None of that today. We were not in control today.
Because let's be honest, let's give it respect. The only other team in the country that, if you gave them control, that would punish you outside of us is Manchester City. So you do have to give them credit. And as I said, I just kept saying the whole week, guys, this is not a foregone conclusion. It's because it's Pep Guardiola. And as much as it looks like he was going insane and losing it, he didn't overthink it. In fact, Arteta overthought it. And he took way too long to pull the trigger on the solution was there in front of him, and it was almost like he was.
Should have been halftime, man. I called for the Calafiori sub at halftime.
Like, what is it? Like, it's like you're frozen, you're stuck in the mud, like quicksand. Like, I know I need to do this, but why haven't I done it? It's like, my girlfriend goes like, "Hey, we have an appointment today. Can you call to confirm the booking?" And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "Have you done it yet?" No, I haven't. It's the same thing. Like, Teta, you're supposed to make a substitution for Calafiori. Are you going to make the substitution?
What's happening here? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't. That's kind of like, I don't know if I did a good analogy there, but I feel like.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. I
He
can only
definitely should
describe
have
his
pulled the trigger
performance
earlier.
as cowardly, to be honest. I can't disagree.
I wouldn't say cowardly.
Robbie Leach.
I don't think it was cowardly. I don't agree with that at all. They were just a
we'll
better
go back
team.
to
They
it.
were. They were just a better team. Better team beat us today. But we weren't cowardly. I think that, like I said earlier, the occasion was one we'd never experienced, and it is not uncommon for this group. Because what happened in the quarterfinals of the Champions League the first season we got there under Arteta? Kind of a bit cowed away versus Bayern.
Semi-final last year. Then we went one
a bit
one
cowed away versus PSG.
Semi-final last year against Newcastle.
When we get to these heights for the first time, we have shown a bit of a
damn it, we're not winning
shakiness,
so we're not winning the Champions League this year. We're gonna get to the final and we're gonna fucking lose.
We've gotten to a final, and we know what a final feels like. Not that final, but we're not going into it completely cold if we get there. That's the only thing about this theory I have, that I've kept that one in the back pocket. Why'd you have to bring that
up? Robbie Leach, Austin Powers.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, okay. I'm guessing you're a hater, but yeah, you don't have many days like this, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Probably a Man U fan.
Yeah, probably David's friend.
Yeah.
He's like, I do not have any association with David Camarino whatsoever. Partey helped us win most midfield battles. I disagree with that vehemently, Tone.
I think Partey gave us something different than Zubi gives us, but I think Rice is doing a lot of what Partey was doing.
Yeah, but no, I reckon Rice
only better
helped us
win only better
battles. No, it's just the name. Like, for me, Rice helped us win most midfield battles.
Fair enough.
Like, we had Partey and Granit Xhaka, and I've seen us get absolutely bossed in midfield by superior team. This Man City team, the treble winners. We went to their ground and we got stomped on 4-1. We also played them at home and lost 2-3-0. We got De Bruyne and Rodri and Gundogan absolutely bossed us both times with Xhaka and with Thomas Partey. So, like, we need African steel in the midfield. Hey, Asanu Drago, is he African? No.
Yeah, where's Ruki? He could tell us about some African steel.
Yeah. We have no world-class ball carriers. Disagree with that. We had one, by the way, who was unavailable today in Ebreche Eze. He's a world-class ball. I think he is. Martin Odegaard is a world-class ball carrier, whether you want to believe it or not. And we have the world-class ball carrier who played today in Declan Rice.
There you go.
So I disagree with that. That is a very much a 14 times a reaction to a defeat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be blunt, because on other days we've had world-class ball. We definitely have them. Yeah, that's a great analogy, to be honest. I wasn't nervous coming to this final, but it's good we lost for the team to learn. Here you go. By the way, Mojo Mills. By the way, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. This is the first time I've seen Mojo Mills. I love the profile pic too. Yeah. Is that a pool in the background? That looks like you living life, my friend. That's a great analogy, to be honest. I wasn't nervous coming to this final, but it was good we lost for the team to learn. None of them have gotten to the final together. Klopp lost finals until he won. Yeah, Pep, as Jake said, Pep lost finals until he won. I mean, he did win finals with Barcelona, but like with the City, when the project starts again, like, yeah. Love from Kenya. There you go.
Hey, there's our African steel right there.
There's our African steel right there. Sign up Mojo's Mills.
Yeah.
We didn't need a reminder. We were talking about that 9-point lead can easily be cut to 3.
Yes,
you know why I disagree with that, by the way?
Game at the Etihad is so much different than this. It's so different than this. So it's not going to be easy to beat us at the Etihad by any stretch. By any stretch, my friend.
The other part is that we've also gotten to learn from playing Manchester City today. And that is that I've always got this theory, right? That when you play a team, I guess Newcastle and Chelsea have destroyed this theory this year, I guess, maybe a little bit. But when you play a team in quick succession like that, it tends to be that the team that didn't get their way the first time asserts their revenge because they're literally thinking about it and breaking down tape. And when it comes to Pep and Arteta, I swear Arteta is going to be ready for it. And you don't have the element of today. The differences between this and that one are the element of Arsenal must still was there today. We must go ahead and win the trophy. We're sitting there. Havertz doesn't score. There's a triple save, right? And we're like, oh, come on. Come on, Arsenal, just take the lead. I don't have any of that idea when we're at the Etihad. Maybe if we go behind in the game and you're like, hey, maybe that element comes in, but I think it's a different idea. And by the way, even if it gets cut to 3, the fixtures that we have after Manchester City, I really would expect us to go ahead and win, and but we have a superior goal difference. They are 1 drop points away from the title race being over, regardless of what Arsenal's results are this season. And even Nez said that yesterday. So they need to be perfect. So, I know they won today, and now we're back to the big bad Wolves, right? But they still need to be perfect for 8 games. They have now the most games left in the Premier League of any club bar Crystal Palace, who they have to play. Okay, I'll move on 14 times. We lost because of man management. Teta could have subbed Hincapié off at the start of the second half. Failure to do that led us to concede the first goal because he didn't commit to preventing the cross. Correct. And failure to do that also led to the second goal. And I don't blame this on Arteta because it's a bit of an unlucky timing because he has got Calafiori and Madueke waiting next to the 4th official to get subbed on at the time of conceding the second goal. And it was like Pep's last hurrah to attack the weakness of Hincapié, which, by the way, he goes completely missing.
He's not in the shot. I had to look for him in the replay. Yeah. I had to look for him. Your man is crossing the ball right now. I'm looking for you. That's not good.
Yeah, and O'Reilly scores that second, punches us before we can even make the change. And that part does, I feel like that is a part of unluckiness that came into this game, because I do feel like, hey, even with the 1 goal, I was like, okay, let's just make the changes we got to make. Let's come out and let's get after them, because their defense is still, if you get at them, they leak goals and they leak big chances. And I mean, for instance, the Calafiori chance that, if Gyökeres is just half a second quicker, puts in the back of the net, right? There's something like things like that might get wheeled in if it's 1-0 rather than 2, because 2-0 feels like such a high mountain to climb. And, it's the emotions of going 2-0 down, I could definitely played a part on this team as well. So again, that's why sports is so interesting, because, and time, because anything different that you change one little event and there's always a,
that's why mentality is such a huge part of the game, because you can study all week. You can look at the tactics. You can know what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do, who you're following, who's going where, when, and then 1-2 sucker punch and it's done. And you're just so shocked. That's like, oh shit, we've killed it. We've
Pep came out all attack for this final. It's Semenyo, Cherki, Holland, and Doku, but us resulted in playing a low block. And I agree with half of this statement. I think the lineup tells you that yes, but I felt like the game state, he was sort of like a kid who was like dipping his toe into the pool, and he kept tipping his toe into the pool and getting deeper and deeper into the pool until he finally just dove in. Like they kept, as I was saying, from that point where the booking is, with Semenyo, he kept trying to attack it. Okay. And Cape is still kind of okay here. Attack it again. Attack it again. Attack it again. He kept digging into this hole until it got larger and larger and larger and larger, and then we kind of fell right through in at the end. And even so, Kepa keeps holding on to that ball, and we're able to ride the wave and make the change, it's a totally different game as well. Like, but I wouldn't say that he went totally attack. They definitely had control of the game from the moment we kicked off the second half until they went 2-0 up, for sure.
That bit disappointed me a lot too. The
What?
fact that we didn't come out in that second half with more energy also, that's disappointing as well.
Like, yeah, exactly. I was thinking, like, if he's not making the change, Arteta at least must have had a really good kick up the ass. No,
not really.
Neither. and that's on him. And the criticism for him is, here comes Charles 87. He goes, hi mates, bad
Charles.
day at the office, or the office was ransacked and we just sat there and did nothing. I know, a bit of both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
Yeah. Elephants in the room again, Dan. Goes missing March to May. Anton. Goes missing.
Maybe he's talking to Dan in the chat.
Oh, no, maybe he's talking to Dan. Is there a Dan in the chat?
Is there a Dan in the chat? No, I don't think so. Whatever.
Yeah, no, maybe he's thinking, hey, maybe confuse me with Positive Dan, who, by the way, had some great, by the way, go to Goonies Therapy. He had some great content. He interviewed Robbie for his channel today. That was a fucking big get. Yeah. Usually it's the other way around, right? He goes on the AFTV, and this time he got Robbie on the Goonies Therapy. That was
that's what's up.
After this show is over, I'm going to congratulate Dan on that. That was a big feat. I'm hoping to have him on Tuesday for the Anton and Dan show. It's the two most positive Gooners are gonna have a struggle fest for that one. But
yeah,
I was gonna bring champagne and my
you were gonna do the most. You were gonna do the most
on in that one. Yeah, now it's like it's all canceled.
Yep. Yeah, we will be there. Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Bukayo Saka are three. Why we win the league? Bukayo Saka 300K Starboy. How many bad days he's allowed Arteta X? I think he's had a lot of bad days. Today, I think it was in a different way than you think, if that makes sense. It's more about the captaincy for me today than it is his actual play. I don't think he picked up his team enough as a captain. I mean, to be fair, I don't even know if Declan Rice picked up the team enough as a captain. It was a sucker punch. Sometimes that's just kind of is what it is. But in terms of his offensive performances, again, getting us the ball, getting out from midfield to then supplying Trossard and Saka. I don't blame Trossard and Saka or Gyökeres for it. I blame Havertz more for it because that's part of his duties and he failed at it. But those other three, your front three, I'm not gonna. I think they get a pass because honestly, I do. And they had their moments in the start of the game where they were threatening and.
Another thing about finals that we all need to remember is that they're so unique and they're so different that we need to analyze them in isolation, and they don't represent the season as a whole. They don't represent this team as a whole. They don't represent what we do, who we are, how we play. Like I said, this was a unique experience for this team, a new experience for this group. And we didn't turn up today. But like I said, we have something to build on for the next time we do make a final. We didn't have anything to go on today. We didn't know how we were going to react today. We didn't know how this group together was going to react today. Even Mikel, who has been in these situations, this is still new for him as well. He didn't know how the guys were going to react today. He didn't know. We didn't know any of this, but now we know. Now we know all of this, and we know how to improve, because we have shown that we do improve when we learn, when we get beat in big games. We weren't as good last season in the group stage of the Champions League as we were this season, because we learned a bunch of stuff last season, and we learned stuff the season before that, because last season we got past the quarterfinals, which we didn't get past this season before
every single year, by the way.
We are progressing, and we're getting so close that we've done everything in the Carabao Cup now. We've done everything. Next year, what's left?
Win it. But sometimes
there you go.
It might not be next year, it might be in 2 years. Like,
that's fine.
Like,
I'm just saying that what happened today is not representative of the season as a whole, and it doesn't mean that we need to start saying because this guy was shit in the final or because that player didn't play well in the final, well, you're not in the rest of the season, you're not important for the rest of the season because you did this, you're not in the team anymore. We can't feature you in the plans because you were terrible in the Carabao Cup fight. No, none of that. None of that.
And it sounds like copium, but we could still win the treble. And they're gonna they
It's
all
not
could
copium,
play a part.
that's facts.
Yeah.
It's not copium, it's facts. We can still win a treble. The treble.
Yeah, with the traditional one where FA Cup and Champions League mixed in there. So yeah, we got all to play for. That's what Declan Rice's message was on the Arsenal website after the game, which is like, this is a very disappointing game. This is not what we wanted. This was not the level that we can reach. But we learn from it. We don't let it affect us. We've got everything ahead of us. And I think that's the perfect way to put it from at least a mentality perspective for the players and for the locker room and for the fans. So yeah, look, this was the game I was nervous about the most, that I circled, and I'm like, if we get that over the hump of today, the sky's the limit. But
the sky's still the limit, man.
Sky's still the limit. Yeah.
It's only up for this team.
9-minute endurance issues, then let Madueke start. Him having the captain's armband is also a joke. As far as impact goes into okay, this is where I disagree actually a little bit, because I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I do have private conversations with my dad, but I was like, before the game, when I thought we were to win the game, we are talking about the hypotheticals of us lifting the trophy, and I saw Odegaard wasn't in the team. I'm like, you know what? If we were to win and Saka lifts the trophy today, I felt it very appropriate because he's the one who's been through the wars the most. He's been there from start of the project to now.
That's why he's got the armband, because
there's a lot that we don't understand that goes on in the background that we don't know. Like, yeah, I think what
and
Jake
the players vote for our armband as well.
Yeah.
Remember when every time they've asked Arteta about it, he's mentioned, and they asked the players about it, they also say the same thing, especially when Odegaard was getting questioned or whatever. He's like, nope, he's the captain. The guys love him. The guys voted for him again this season.
Everyone a question, though? Like, Jake, I want to ask you this question. Do you not see Saka as a leader? Because I do.
He's 100% a leader.
I feel people see a winger and they go, he's not a leader, or they see his stature. They see Gabriel and Rice barking all the time, and they're like, oh, they're a leader. But why is Saka not?
Because he doesn't shout, and a lot of people think that there's one way to lead, the Tony Adams way.
Yeah,
but what about the Thierry Henry way? He led by example. He didn't shout at people. He led by example. He led by being the guy that, look, we're struggling right now. I'm gonna do something, and Saka needs to find that gene. He really does, but it's there. We've seen it, and we know it's there. And I have full faith that we'll see it again before the end of the season.
Yeah, I do believe that's the kind of we need to learn from the whole season, where all these players have had their low moments and they've had their high moments. How many people who said, hey, I don't know what Eze's role is in this team anymore? Well, today you found out.
There you go.
We gave up on Urian Timber. Today you found out what why Urian Timber starts all the time. It's like, where's Ben White? Like, you found out. Saka's just not playing like the talisman, fire them cannons. He acts like a talisman to Sky, other media outlets, to the outside world, but on the pitch, my God. I still love FY. Of course. I actually don't think he's the talisman anymore. I think when we made all the signings that we did in the summer, I think the responsibility of Saka as your main attacking outlet has sort of been relieved a little bit. I think it gets shared across. I think Gyökeres, he's a leading goal scorer. As much as you guys gonna hate to hear it, he's a talisman. Eze is a talisman.
It depends on how you define
the real main star,
the
real main star, and that's the truth, the make or break, and the fact that I wrote. So I'm going to tell you today, right now, before we do the ratings, I have Rice is a 4. Tells you all you need to know because he is the talisman of the team. for real, and we go as Rice goes, and Rice was not good, in a big stage today, and he admitted so himself. Which, by the way, that is leadership as well in itself. Admitting fault, Bernardo does +1 with every single midfield and defender for Man City. Master tactical fouler and just not getting enough on the. Yeah, but he also got sent off against Real Madrid and he was thrown to the fire about a few days ago, right? So again, that's a great example, Bernardo. So today he's the most amazing, tactical fouler, but 5 days ago he's stupid and reckless, and he costed Man City their chance to advance to the Champions League. So that's a great example right there of what Jake is trying to, illustrate for you. It's on. Sorry, typo.
Talking about when he called you Dan.
Oh, called me Dan. Yeah, all good. Guys, I know you have been supporting Arsenal for a long time. What's your take on us not turning up when it matters over the seasons? I would call it learning process. I think a lot of people call it bottle, but I'll call it learning process. And the reason why I do is because I think we've shown enough that we have learned. The league thing, the second, I think has played a big part into why we're 9 points clear right now in the Premier League. Why all of a sudden now we've pushed through those barriers, and those last 2 weeks when City have dropped points, we've won even though we weren't playing at our best. And now, we've got a comfortable lead at the top of the Premier League, and I feel like we're going to get there.
Hey, Anton,
now we need to learn those same.
Go ahead.
But now we got to learn those same lessons now, as Jake was saying, with playing in finals. Then eventually we can put it together. And yeah,
what was Arsene Wenger's first 3 league results in his first 3 seasons? In his first 3 seasons for Arsenal,
I think he won the double. Wait.
Second.
That was 98.
Second. And then we won. And then we went on to be what Arsene Wenger came
and then he was second again.
I'm just saying.
He went with one with Wiltord. So he had, yeah.
He started out second, and look what he became.
Yeah.
Just saying. You got to learn. It's all a learning process. Like I said at the top, champions never lose.
What's interesting though?
You learn.
A lot of the younger gooners out there who are like, I'm like my former co-host here falls into this category. Hasn't experienced the Arsene Wenger the second that you just speaking. So when they look at it now, they're kind of like relearning it all over again, and they're seeing the Arteta thing, and they're like, "Hey, he's not getting over the line." But history is always a great teaching tool, and Jake, that was a really good example, honestly. I think, and as I said, it happened a second time after we had the double in '98, second, and then we won in 2022 with Wiltord at Old Trafford. And then we went second again, and then by the way, that was heartbreaking because Hasselbank. We could have won the league that year too. At Hasselbank, we lose at home to Leeds. Hasselbank and I believe Mark Viduka or no Harry Kewell. One of the
Harry Kewell, bro.
We could have won the league that year, but the next year, hey, we go invincible.
Big up Harry Kewell. What a name that is, man. I still remember he was a member of the he was a member of the 20 dude. And this is a quick aside. The 2010 was it 2010?
2006.
The 2010 the Australia team that Tim Cahill was the coach that was
2010
captain of in 2010
South Africa one.
Dude, Australia was actually very good in that tournament.
Yeah, that was the golden generation. Mark
but
Schwarzer.
they had to play Spain, the champions, the Netherlands, and who it was another really, really strong team.
The other team they beat.
Yeah, and Australia were very good in all 3 of those games. I was like, after that tournament, I was like, damn, dude, that's rough that they had to play the Dutch and the Spanish.
That was 2014. That was the Brazil one.
I was like, they had to play the Dutch and the Spanish, and they were so good. Dude, all 3 of those games were fantastic. Dude, big up Tim Cahill, Harry Kewell, and that generation of Australia.
Was it Chile? Was it Chile? That was the
It was Chile. Yep.
That was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys,
Even at
man.
this last World Cup,
Entertaining.
by the way, they made it to the last 16 and they had to play Argentina, and they were in the game for a long time until Messi broke it
Yeah.
open.
But they were never
They weren't the
you were
same,
never gonna beat Messi. You were never gonna beat Messi.
especially not with Aziz Bayich and everyone.
No, I'm saying the tournament was always Messi was always going to win that World Cup. You were never going to beat Messi ever, ever. Not because Messi is Messi, but because of FIFA. You were never going to beat Messi in his last World Cup, which ended up not being his last World
He'll
Cup.
play this summer.
But that was the narrative, right? So
Yeah. Did Messi move to Miami whether he won the World Cup already yet, or he was still with PSG? He was still with PSG still.
I think he was still with PSG, yeah. But
Yeah.
he was shit at PSG.
I think that
Let's
Inter
have it
Miami
right.
move is the reason why he's playing in the World Cup.
Let's have it right, man. He's been shit since PSG.
Look, I have a whole other thing. I'm sort of done with both. I hate the fact that we're still talking about Neymar getting picked for Brazil, because I'm like, they got so many fucking better wingers right now than Neymar, who are younger in the prime of their career, i.e. Vinny, i.e. Rodrigo, like even Cunha,
even Esteval, man.
Esteval.
Neymar is like, bro, didn't you just do your meniscus in to save Santos, and now you're gonna make this? Come on, bro.
The only one of them that I still think is Ronaldo, because I still think he plays a vital role, like with Portugal. And Messi, I think to a degree, but
Dude, I heard a rumor.
What?
He might be going to Chelsea, and it'd totally be a Chelsea thing to do as well.
That's just to appease the whole youth project. Be like, hey, we'd only buy youth. We buy the best out there.
We bought the best there's ever been.
That is so
when he was
Todd Bowley.
43. When he was 43.
That is so Todd Bowley. It's like when he bought Mookie Betts from the Red Sox, and then he bought
oh, that's right. He's the Dodgers owner, right? Yeah. That's what they're trying to do to Chelsea. We've totally gotten off track here, but they're trying to moneyball Chelsea.
Yeah, I know.
Idiots. But I digress.
See, the thing is, if Bowley buys Ronaldo, you're showing his lack of football knowledge.
Well, we all know he's got shit for brains when it comes to football. We know this. He said he wanted Cucurella because Pep wanted him. Huh, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
He like, he's gonna think? He's like, hey, to win the Dodgers, I went and bought Shohei Ohtani. And he thinks that getting Ronaldo is equivalent to Shohei Ohtani, but it's not.
It's no.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
Stick to baseball. Blueco, maybe.
Actually, you know what? Long may it continue. From a tribalism standpoint, long may it continue. But from a I love the game standpoint, vampires that are ruining a proud footballing institution, and the Chelsea fans are just watching them piss all over their badge. It's disgusting. Same thing that's happening to Tottenham. From a tribalism standpoint, fuck them. From a I love football standpoint, it's disgusting. It's reprehensible to see what these businessmen are doing to these footballing institutions. It's what happened to Wolves.
Yeah. But at the same time though, Arsenal's an example of how, without changing the ownership officially, you can still fix the issues and evolve. What happened is it just took Stan Kroenke to give the reins
to
his
relinquish
son,
control.
Who obviously is more of a soccer fan than his dad.
Well, if they would just hire the right people, look what we did. We said, Edu Gaspar, you're a plague. You're a poison. Get out of my club.
Vinay Verakeshan.
And then we bring in the right person, Andrea Berta, and he's changed all of our lives. Bring in the right people. It's not a difficult concept. If you don't know jack shit about the game, bring in someone who does.
And trust me, it makes the fact that this is the first time that Josh Kroenke has been. This is the first time Josh Kroenke has been on English soil since the day we bought Eze. Tells you a whole lot of how he feels about Andrea Berta. Because so many times before, you would see he would like be flying emergency flights,
emergency
over
meeting,
to sit next to Arteta in the canteen at London Colney, being like, "Hey," or now what's called now Soba Reality Training Center. You know, "Hey, Mikel, how's it going, man? What do you need from me?" Like now, it's like, no, I got a man in, I got Andrea in there. It's all good. You know what I mean? Yeah. By the way, Stan, I saw you today up in the. Did you see him for a brief second? They went up to him you saw him around the studio. You were bad luck. Just leave Josh there. I don't want to see you in your stupid mustache. Fucking
stick to your Rams, bro. Just stick to your LA Rams and leave us alone.
But no, but that pisses me off. Like it's like Josh runs but this is the beIN Sports coverage, right? Josh runs the basically the operations of Arsenal as from the ownership box, right?
Right.
But yet when his dad is in, he goes, Stan Kroenke, Arsenal owner. I'm like,
just because his he's still alive, like just because you're the patriarch. That's literally all it is. You are the patriarch of this empire that you have.
Yeah.
Like, does he go to Colorado Rapids games? I don't think so.
He does go to the Rams. Yeah, you got to give him.
The LA Rams. He in Stan's mind is probably the biggest of them. It's not in valuation. I don't think Arsenal's probably bigger in valuation. It might be close actually. The LA Rams.
Would say Arsenal have a much bigger global fan. Now, in
no. I'm talking about money.
How the money? Yeah,
I'm talking about valuation. I'm talking about money, not fan base.
He sold SoFi alone today. He'd make trillions. All right, so
that's what I'm saying. The valuation of the club, LA Rams, is probably ginormous, fucking huge. But Arsenal is also at probably $5 billion or something. So,
by the way, he did an amazing job with what he did when he took over from when they were in St. Louis and how he's done to that team. He's done a great job with them. You know. He's definitely increased the value of the.
But yeah,
let
Josh handle us, and you do your thing over here in America. You stay over here.
Yeah,
you stay here where I am.
But for me, I was like, oh, poor Josh. He's still living in the shadow of his dad. Like,
but honestly, since that handoff, since Josh has kind of been we've been in the right direction, I think. And I haven't actually said a word against the Kroenkes since that day.
And then, by the way, today's not on the Kroenkes either.
No,
it's just triggering. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like, why do I always see your face on our worst days?
On the worst of days, yeah.
Like, because Jake, semifinal exit is not enough experience. This word experience goes thrown around like we are a bunch of young kids. At least 3 seasons of Kitty is fair experience, but it's different experience. I thought
it's
what
new.
Josh was saying.
It's something we've never done.
It's progression, guys. Like this is one thing. Like this is the difference between like, hey, I'll bring this up with Positive Danny. He'll tell you the exact same thing on Tuesday, right? It's what Arteta outers know is a thing and are purposefully avoiding because it doesn't fit in with their agenda, which is progression, which is every year you're forgetting the failures of the late Wenger years, what we weren't able to do, which is get to the last 16, right? Challenge for the title, or our title challenge would fall off around February and that would be it, right? Well, now Arteta's got us second few years in a row now. He's gotten us challenging, well, with that first title charge up to April, with that last one all the way to the last game of the season. With this one, I imagine it's going to go all the way and winning it, right? So you have to see, hey, progression. In the Champions League, last 16, hey, quarterfinals, semifinals, final. That's why I think this is the next natural step for Arsenal. And then when you get there, How do you deal with that occasion on that day? Then you're able to put those experiences in your head and know how to navigate it the next time. Like I know people say trust the process, and I'm not trying to like use today as an excuse, because at the end of the day, we've said it. The performance was not good enough. What we did, everything, we've broken it down like it's not good enough. But then when we're talking about the bigger picture, it's not always just, hey, today. You don't just, hey, look, today, hey, we ball. I don't like this term bottled it, because I don't think that's accurate. I don't think it's an accurate
Bottling implies there's a gigantic gulf in class. There's a gigantic gulf in the ability or potential of these two teams. If you forget, it wasn't until 4 days ago Man City were on for the quad. So it's not like bottling unless Man City are absolute hot dog water and we are the best there's ever been. Unless there's a giant gap, the word bottle is just
I feel like now I'm thinking about it in hindsight. Fucking Pep wore that stupid outfit on Tuesday night to create this, because everyone thinks that they're you know what I mean? Like, he's all
mind games.
He's always games. 1 step ahead, and we all think he's losing it, and he's like, and he's actually not. And although he's still kicking the advertising hoarding when he's going up 1-0. Like,
that was relief, is what that was.
Yeah,
he was frustrated. Because we were defending well. We were up against it. They had momentum, but they hadn't really put us under. They had 2 shots on goal today, Anton. They had 2 shots on goal today.
To be honest, it was a slow burn. Our loss today was a slow burn. You could see it, the warning signs throughout the whole day, and they weren't taking advantage of it. And then you're like, just when you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe we might just get away with it after all. You don't. But yeah, I agree. That probably was relief. Not gonna lie, I saw the lineups before kickoff. When I heard Eze was out, I dropped to my knees. I watched the first few minutes on the floor. Yeah, I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, hey, that little starters and finishers thing we were talking about yesterday, out the window. I was thinking about, Eze's record at Wembley and how he's big for these big games, and I think Eze probably does. But then I was like, hey, Havertz, this is my delusions based on things that we've seen earlier. Havertz and Gyökeres partnership works really well. Maybe Havertz will just release Gyökeres quicker to get after their weak back four, and it might work anyway. Wrong. The other thing when I saw, by the way, I thought that Odegaard would be in the squad. When I saw that news come out, I was like, okay, probably Odegaard starts today, or at least comes off the bench. Didn't have that either. I think you got Odegaard coming off the bench, but in at least something like another thing. I'll be like, hey, you got that card. The only card I really thought in my pocket offensively that we had was Martinelli, and we all know how I feel about that. That second half is seen again, God forbid, versus far more midfields like PSG with Vitinha, Barca with Pedri. We will not win again. We cannot go back to this point and say learning again.
What are we supposed to say, Charles? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to wallow in grief and pity and let the rest of the season get pissed down the drain? You have to learn from your defeats. You have no choice.
This is when you say this, and I don't mean to be harsh, but you need to learn, think about what actually happens if we, what solution are you looking here for? Because here's the other solution. You blow it up and start all over again, right? When you're close to tasting glory. And then you're back to square one. And then you got a new group of players who are having to learn.
And then it starts all over again. And then it starts all over again, right? Because if you look at what's happening to the clubs all around us, Blueco comes in to Chelsea and starts a new cycle with new players. And now everything that applied to Roman doesn't really apply to them anymore, does it? Because it's a completely different situation, right? The show goes on, no matter what. And this whole thing where, managers don't stay as long anymore because sporting directors now help run the club or whatever. But look at the 2 best teams in the league. It's a project with long-term consistency for both of them. Liverpool's going through a transition in their shit this season. Spurs are going through transition in the board. Like Levy has left, and they're even worse than they were last season. Chelsea
Oh,
are in
Tottenham lost
Chelsea
today
are
to
in
Nottingham
decline.
Forest.
Chelsea are in decline. Look at Nottingham Forest. Look at Nottingham Forest. They were amazing last season. Marinakis decides, you know what? Let's rip this up because I don't like the manager because I'm high and mighty, and now they're shit. Processes. It takes time. You have to learn. You have to
can't blow
learn.
it up in one night.
You don't just change the manager, bring in Luis Enrique, and win the Champions League tomorrow. It does. It never,
do you know
ever
what happens, Jake?
like that.
Jake,
it
do you know
never
what
happens like that ever.
You go from this what Chelsea, right? Maresca, who I thought honestly at one point in this season
They were progressing.
He was sorry, Chelsea fans, if you're in here, he was the one. You got anxious because he started getting linked to City, but he was asking for you for the pieces that he wanted. You kept giving him other pieces, and he could see the issues with your ownership. He called it out, and then he was on his ass, and you end up with Liam Rossigna of this.
But he was building something. He was building something. He was putting something together, and it was showing signs. Look how well João Pedro played in the Club World Cup. It was showing signs. His project was, but they didn't stick with it. In this game, what we've seen, the evidence we've seen is you have to stick with a project for as long as it takes sometimes. Because when you rip it up in the middle of it and start again, it doesn't always happen where Brendan Rodgers hands the baton over. Even Klopp had to have a little bit of a regression before he came back up, even though that Brendan Rodgers Liverpool team was fantastic. He still had a couple of seasons where he had to get it right before they won the league. You know what I mean? You have to, no longer in this day and age does impatience work. It's still the same game that Fergie played. It's still the same game that Wenger played. You still have to have consistency to win these kinds of to win anything in this game. And we have shown the consistency with Arteta. We've shown that we can learn. We do learn. And that's the only thing you can do when, as 13 times says here, I'm so down I can't even enjoy Spurs' defeat today. The only way 14 times. The only way you deal with a loss, the only way you process losses is to get better because of it, is to learn from it. Champions never lose. You learn or you win.
Yeah. Trust me. We just didn't know. Well, I'll admit it, right? And this is 24 hours of learning, right? A day ago, I was talking about quads. But what I didn't know is that we needed to lose one to be able to learn how to win these cup competitions, which is the one I kept thinking. I kept asking this question in all these shows, and I'm racking my brain, and I'm wondering why people think we can't win a quad. And I'm looking at how close we are, and I'm like, where are we tripping up?
In the finals that we've never been to before. In the moments that we've never experienced before. It's natural to trip up and maybe not be at your best when you're very unfamiliar with what's going on.
Yeah. And even I'm learning as a fan, and I've seen other teams that I've gone for, like the Bucks in the NBA had to go through to, losing to the Raptors after having a 2-0 lead, going out in the bubble to Miami, and then they have it to all that type of stuff before they got to the finals to actually win. The Eagles with Jalen Hurts, went to Arizona, played their guts out and lost just at the end to Patrick Mahomes. I had a lead in the Super Bowl, like a 10-point lead in the second half. Blew it. Lost that in slow-mo, almost like today, right? But then 2 years later came back, won it all. Luckily for us, we probably not need to wait 2 years. We've got plenty of opportunities, bites the apple this season to be able to have a second crack at it again. And look, one thing I know about this Arsenal Football Club when it comes to the FA Cup versus the Carabao Cup, as I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised now if we actually go ahead and win that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't honestly wouldn't be surprised at all. But Anton, Arteta lovers also cannot held easily forget that Wenger was with half the funds that Arteta had, and Arteta not again not Arteta in or out debate. This but experience cannot be blanketed versus inability.
Where's the inability? What inability are you talking about? We have the ability. Arteta has not lost to Pep in 3 years. We have the ability to beat Pep. We have the ability to beat Bayern. We have the ability to beat PSG. We have the ability to beat Barcelona. Arteta has the ability. He's there. He has the ability. That doesn't mean that we're not going to get outdone every now and again.
Yeah. By the way, I think you're going to see the progression of Arsenal in the Champions League now, because I do think that, when we play that Sporting in the two-legged tie, I think let's see how we go against the new camp. But I do feel like that we're in that tie, I believe will be against Barcelona, that you're going to see the progression of Arsenal there, because let's not forget in the past what our experiences like have been into that ground. So I want to see Arsenal go to and I think we've already seen an example of it last year at the Bernabeu, but I want to see them repeat the trick and go to a place like the Camp Nou and see how we deal with that away tie. Because I think there's so many things left to go in this season, as you pointed out yesterday, that we're going to get to see, and maybe the fact that this quad thing is off will allow us to maybe see it and appreciate it a bit more now, and see kind of how that journey goes down without the like, hey, that needs. I think the quad thing talk being off could be a good thing, like the shots on target record. That thing going away was also probably a good thing. I'm so down. I can't even fully enjoy. I know. And I had Seb in the group chat today being like, yeah, fuck Tottenham. I'm like, Seb, we're about to play a cup final, dude. I'm not fucking making fun of anybody, but yeah, it does.
Dude, I actually watched that game and the Villa game. I couldn't even pay attention. I was just like, whatever. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Me and my dad show up an hour early to the pub today, get a good seat. We come in and we completely underestimate the Arsenal fan base. There are over 500 Arsenal fans hate watching Spurs.
Yeah.
And there's not one seat left, and we're there an hour early. I'm like, oh fuck. Come on, why didn't we think about this?
Yep.
But on that, by the way, just to take a quick detour back to upset alert. So you had your day on Friday night, and then you repeated the trick on Saturday, right? Today I had my day. I told you that Sunderland would be winning the Tyne Weir derby. I told you that Villa was going to bounce back and beat West Ham, and I told you Forest was going to Shite Hart Lane and getting the 3 points.
I like that. Shite Hart Lane is good. That's good.
I told you. I mean, the one I got wrong, obviously, was the one on our screen. But we've spent the past hour and 40 minutes admitting that. But we were very humble, both of us, in our analysis of that game. Like, we did say, like, we weren't saying, like, it's an impossibility. That we were saying it very much is. That's why we're nervous.
Yeah.
And this one is different to when we play at the Etihad. Jake, how many learners Man City had in their lineup today, as much as we had or more? How many had played finals before? Healthy debate again, but second half is not learning.
Well, their best player, the guy who was man of the match, was the Ballon d'Or winner, treble winner, four-peat. What about their captain, treble winner, four-peater? What about Erling Haaland, Champions League winner, treble winner? I feel like they had a bit more experience than we did.
What about the manager, who's
they got a little tiny bit, just a little tiny bit more experience than we did.
He's won the league in three different countries.
Yeah, just a hair more experience. Just
yeah. Yeah, any manager at Chelsea is just a stooge. Blue Co run the show over there, and they're botching it.
Indeed.
I think from now on, yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like Poch was a stooge. I mean, he's a guy who got.
They've designed it that way now because of the things that I think because of the things that Maresca said.
Yeah. I think Rosignol is the first of them because they're sick and tired of having all these managers come in and question how they run the club, because those managers actually do know better and they've been successful elsewhere. Well, Maresca, I guess, won the championship, but no, he didn't win a Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to beat said teams when it really matters, though.
We
Cup
will.
Finals, semifinals. Yeah, we will.
We will.
We will. Hey, the treble is still on. That's right.
Damn
14
right.
times.
Damn right.
That's right. Inability to outthink the opposition manager is crucial in the final. When players don't press the Arsenal backline away to press the midfield, that either defenders move to ping it well. Well, that's
the players have to hold some responsibility for not figuring that out as well, as we said.
Yeah, I do agree. And by the way, that's the advantage of having a Pep Guardiola. Yep. He definitely showed his experience. Like the manager that's one thing I want to get really clear. The manager that Arteta played today against is the only other manager in the country who I'm nervous about tactically versus Arteta. Like, if we were going, let's say, in a Newcastle one, it was Eddie Howe, I think I would think about it a bit differently. And even he, by the way, has been to the stage and won it a year ago.
But he lost it first. Just saying. He lost it first. The year before Just saying.
Okay, so that experience is a reason to be beaten on the pitch than isn't ability in the first place.
The game isn't completely. The game's not all ability.
We're not.
The mentality is huge. Mentality is a huge
excuses
thing
for this football team. We made it very clear. We've broken down what went wrong. We've criticized everything. It was clear. For me, it was clear what went wrong today more than in any other game. Anton Arteta has an Anfield mental block as well, clearly.
We'll get over that too. We will get over that as well.
No.
I have full faith in this team. 100%.
Yeah. The worst thing is that we now have 2 weeks I know, 14 times.
Don't move on.
Yeah, let's just not stew. To be honest, I'll be fair.
Enjoy the internationals, man. Enjoy Italy.
Guys.
Follow Italy. Italy's still got to qualify. Turkey's still trying to qualify. Sweden's still trying to qualify. Man, there's going to be some good stuff in this window. Go ahead.
You know what I'm going to be doing? I'll be fair. You see my eyes? I've been here awake since 2 a.m. I'm going to sleep for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of, man, I think my dinner just arrived, so
yeah.
We need to.
Let's actually do the quickest player rating, and it's not going to be hard. We don't even need to describe
it's not going to be
why,
difficult.
And then end the stream, because oh god, this been almost like we've delayed.
This is going to be brutal. Okay, this will be brutal.
This will be brutal.
Yes,
like this is the opposite of the Leverkusen ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like international breaks. Looking forward to the
playoffs will be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And by the way, I think the World Cup draw comes out as well in the next 2 weeks as well. I believe. No,
it's already the draw's already out. The World Cup draw has already happened.
Oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah. It's just those playoff teams.
We'll just know what fills in the groups. Yep.
What fills in the groups? Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, the kits came out yesterday for the World Cup.
Those are sick. The kits are nice.
All of them, for most of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Italy. I love the Italy away kits. By the way,
one looks good, man.
Yeah, the Italy away kits. By the way, I liked it. I like the England away kits. The home kits.
The Norway home kit was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was.
It was kind of like a throwback to the '98 jersey where they have the red kits with the blue cross on it. That's like on the left. It looks really cool. It looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes Mexico's kits. I'll have to take a look at what made the kit.
I haven't seen the Mexico ones yet.
I'm gonna look.
I imagine they're green, black, and red. Is that a real thin limb to go out on there? Yeah.
You are right. I can confirm it was green, black, and red. Oh yeah, I love that. You know what? They've always got some great patterns in there.
I like the 2010 jerseys.
Is Chicharito still playing? No way,
dude. Manuel Ochoa is going to be the goalkeeper. Guillermo Ochoa. This like his 19th World Cup.
Raul Jimenez and Lozano.
He's been in cryostasis for since the last World Cup, and they've thawed him out so he can play keeper for the World Cup.
Dude, Javier Hernandez still plays football. He played for Sir Alex Ferguson.
Jamie Vardy still plays football, bro.
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy plays for Cremonese in the Serie A.
He is without a club but yet he's actually still the Mex.
So is Guillermo Ochoa. Ochoa don't have a club either.
That's nuts.
They're just calling him out because he's the only one left. Oh my god! But yeah, let's run through this brutality.
All right, Kepa. This is going to be brutal. All right, here we go.
I mean, he didn't actually face a whole lot of shots, but you kind of cost. I mean, it's not unfair to say you cost us the game, so it's like maybe like a 3, 4. He never really figured out who to pass the ball to.
Lauren, big up Lauren every time. Your dinner, the soup crate from Spurs fans' tears are from our tears as well, Lauren.
It's all that we have left today. Yeah, there's a little bit of ours mixing in there, but it's a little consolation at the end of the night.
London tears. By the way, you got Chelsea tears, Liverpool tears. That's the one thing that's good about this weekend is that
Manchester United is the only winner. Is that the one? Is that what we're saying is a good weekend? Manchester is the only winner this weekend. Well, Villa.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no one seems to care about Villa.
A huge winner. Villa, I was counting out of the. I thought they were dropping off completely.
They were good.
That's a few 3 points. Forest, I think, are staying up. I think it's between now the 2 London teams now.
West Ham are in trouble, man.
Forest is 1 point off of Leeds now, who we basically considered.
So the wet spammers are in trouble. Wet spam is in trouble.
Well, they got Wolves next at home, so that's
Spurs also plays Wolves before the end of the season. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
Spurs also plays Chelsea. Anyway, we're getting off track. Let's just do these. 3 for Kepa. That sounds about right for me. All right, Piero.
3.
I feel unlucky though. I feel he's unlucky though. I mean, getting beaten by Semenyo, but that
4, maybe. But also,
he was good.
But also, where are you on the second goal, bro? Where the F were you on the second goal? Like, what are you doing? I love him. I'm not saying like you're shit, but today you were. Yeah, 14. There you go.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? The only people who have come out with any shame, like they do every single week, Gabrieliba. They're the only ones for me that go over above average. Actually, you know what? They kept us in that game for the longest.
The 2 best on the field for us.
I'm going to say 8. Crazily enough, they're like the way outlier.
They were good.
8.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, although Gabriel was part of the confusion left in Hincapie's wake.
7, 6.
Rice looked at Gabriel, and Gabriel looked at Rice, and neither of them pressed. And yeah,
are we grading on a curve? So an 8, therefore becomes like a 7 or a 6 because of everybody else. I don't know.
No, fuck the curve. I hated that when I was in school. Fuck that shit. If you played well, you get your flowers. If you didn't, you don't. Period.
Jake, you make the call.
7 for both.
7. All right. We'll call 7. All right. This one's a little bit hard. But Ben White.
2.
God. Oh, I know.
I really have a very low opinion of his 1v1 defending ability. And you got wrecked straight up. Doku had you on toast, man. Doku you're going to be seeing him in your nightmares for the next 2 weeks, bro, because you ain't playing for England. So have fun with that. Yeah, Doku fucked him up too.
Yeah. Ben White was Ben wrong today.
Yeah, a little bit. He got it wrong. He certainly did.
He mixes colors with his whites, so he's stupid laundry joke. All right. Okay, let's go. I'll do my subs on the defensive side. Cal Fury. I think he's actually the one who. I mean,
6.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't, as a team, we weren't really on the ball, but I thought he did well. Yeah, 6.
Lauren likes my little laundry joke. There you go. So.
That's her kind of humor.
Yeah. Shit. But it's like I've been trying to figure out with Ash Ketchum when he comes to the chat. I've now done a list of Pokemon jokes for the next time he comes in. I'm essentially sitting here, right here, my list of Pokemon jokes, and didn't even come.
Wait so you can crack a Pikachu joke.
Uh, I actually saw the coolest thing on Instagram. There's like a Bulbasaur. It's a garlic holder, so you put the garlic bulb on the top, and it looks like a Bulbasaur.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I'll be sending that to Ash Ketchum when he.
Right.
Um, yeah. Okay, let's move into the. We didn't have anybody else comes on in defense. No, we actually subbed White off and added Jesus. So,
And
yeah,
put
no, we did not.
Jesus on.
Yeah, Mosquera never plays in this game. For me, I think it's criminal. You have to address the. Why not try to address the Doku mismatch?
Halftime.
That's.
Yeah. I would have replaced both fullbacks at halftime.
Here you go. I got you a birthday present.
What in the what? Wait a minute. Sif just texted me. Arsenal handed third injury scare.
What? Oh, is it the Saliba?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
withdrawing from the France squad. Good. Don't go to play with France. F that.
No, it's something that's Arteta's already addressed that though. I was seeing that before. Yeah, he had something a bit at the end, but it's nothing that's serious. Yeah,
don't go play with France.
And he probably won't play against Southampton. He wouldn't have anyway. Like Mosquera would have played against Southampton probably.
Save him for Sporting. Save him for Sporting. 100%.
Yeah. Which by the way is so ironic because that's where Sporting away is where he got hurt. That anyway.
And, which resulted in the yep.
Yeah, again, injury scare is the key word. Injury blow would be the one that I don't like. All right, midfield. Okay, I think I've already done it. I wonder, you know what my score is for Declan Rice? What's your score for Declan Rice?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he worked hard, but I thought he also
he was good at the start.
Looked out of place a few times, man. Yeah, I'll give Declan a 5.
I thought he was good in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah,
where he I saw when he Holland was going through and he picked his pocket and all of a sudden comes out with it.
I will say we did well against Holland. We did fine against Holland. Holland didn't do pretty much anything in this game.
Yeah, I mean we did fine against all the attackers, just not Nico. I mean, Semenyo and Doku, and then Nico O'Reilly. I think that's where. Shirky didn't have a fantastic game today, did he? I don't think so. Anyway, let's move on. Zubamendi. For me, he gets a 1. He was bad.
Yeah, it was one of those days where the game passed him by, and normally we can kind of carry that sometimes, but when we don't, yeah, it's as they say across the pond, it's peak. Yeah, man.
About 14.
Can I give a 0.5? What, like a 0.25? He showed up. He put the jersey
Spurs
on.
Fans love Netflix because only one place they can watch a thrilling conclusion to a season. Okay, I'm done.
No, she's not.
She's not. She'll be back.
She's never done.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any subs? Oh, here's another one. Kai Havertz. Another 1 for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I was trying to come up with a reason but no. Yeah. That's fine. Not great.
Yeah.
I honestly think Kai Havertz.
He revived on his own Rodri.
He was the biggest problem. I don't think it was necessarily all his fault, but you being in there was our biggest problem. And you could have maybe done more to bridge the gap that we had because you were there and yeah, not great. That's not your role, bro. That's not your spot.
Yeah, he learned the hard way. I hate that. That's what it is like when you play in these cup finals. When you don't win them, you learn the hardest lessons in the most inappropriate time. Yeah, I didn't like that. But yeah, he literally single-handedly gave Rodri a second life in his career today. Literally, it's absolutely dispossessed. Every time he lost every duel, it was bad.
It's a shambles.
It was bad. All right. Well, we don't actually have any other midfielders because they were so bad. He just was putting attackers in instead. Let's go to Leandro Trossard, and I don't think he's score. I mean, he was pretty much anonymous.
I'm trying to think of what he did in the game.
Still
I'm
thinking.
trying to think of something to analyze.
Did he touch the ball? Did he touch the ball?
There were a couple of moments, now that I really think hard about it, where I was watching
foot mob.
There were a couple of moments where I remember I was watching how we were following runners and how we were pressing, and there was a couple of times where I said, "Good job, Trossard," but not for anything he did on the ball, not for anything he did going forward. -1 is what 14 times says. Yeah. I mean, a 2 maybe. I'll be nice and give him a 3. 2, 3, somewhere in there.
All right, let's say I'm actually looking at the stats here. On Leandro, I'm looking at FOTMob. Leandro Trossard today. Oh my god! I was joking, but I was right. Basically, almost. He touched the ball 1 time. According to FOTMob, it's right there.
It's
right there. Touches once.
Martinelli touched the ball once. That's pathetic. So yeah, -1. -1 is probably good enough. -1 might be generous.
I was joking about did he touch the ball, and literally your eyes don't lie.
That might be generous, man. That might be the most anonymous performance we've ever seen.
That's insane.
That's really not great.
Means we completely didn't have anything on the left-hand side whatsoever. And by the way, think about it, by the way, he's part to blame in what Semenya was doing as well, if we're playing off the ball. Like, where's Trossard in that?
Getting cooked.
I'm just saying, Arteta, if all is fair, you know what you did to Eze when he was struggling defending on the left. He never played there again.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, let me move on.
The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, okay. Bukayo Saka.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to pile on because everybody's going to. But you got to step up, man. When we're in trouble, when we're not in a good way, and I keep saying this, and it hasn't happened yet, we need Saka to be the guy, that guy, to step up. He didn't today. I mean, but when he moved into the center, there were a couple of times at the very end of the game where maybe I'm trying really hard here. 4.
Yeah, 4 or 3. Yeah. All right, Victor. This is gonna hurt me because I actually don't think Victor had a good game today. There were a lot of times where
he was so isolated, man. It was tough. He was in a very tough situation, and we never tried to find him.
He was losing duels to Kusanov at times. I was like,
it was a whole lot more about. Hey, Kusanov's a good defender, man. It was a whole lot more about he was feeding off scraps. As far as, we'd hoof it long, but it wasn't David Raya hoofing it long. There was no real direction. And so he had a lot of work to do to get to the first ball. Plus, Kai was dueling him for the first balls.
He's definitely the least anonymous of our attackers today because I kept seeing him enough to know that my mate Seb was fucking cussing him, not the Seb, different Seb, was cussing him out in the pub. But, he's useless, whatever. I'm like, but hey, at least he's fucking touching the ball.
5 for me.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, I'd say 5. And there were times, by the way, the Jesus dink that hits the cross, he gets Trafford out of the way there. Like, in fact, so much that then he is late to react to trying to put it in off the rebound. But he definitely does a lot of stuff that does affect the play, which people with no ball knowledge don't see, and it actually annoys me. Actually seeing it in real time, watching people's reaction to that. But yeah, I digress, and we move on. All right, Noni Madueke and Martinelli. I think those last two, those ones that come on.
Madueke had a little bit of an effect. Jesus came on as well. Madueke actually tried to go at his man a little bit. 4.
And Jesus, by the way, also had.
He had an effect. 5. But they weren't on enough for long enough, you know. Martinelli was non-existent when he came on, and he gave the ball away. 1.
And there we are.
Didn't really do much.
No, that was depressing. Hey, we got through it. We got through it. 2 hours of talking about this, but we did it. We got through it.
Managed to avoid mostly invective for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, I will be trying to. We will see. The plan is to have the Anton and Dan show tomorrow or Tuesday night my time or Monday, whatever. I don't know the time. It's Tuesday night my time, but it'll be the next show that we'll have is the Anton and Dan show. Anton's Tears will be there to recap the games that we didn't include, and they'll all be there for me to make me feel better because it'll be like, oh yeah, Arsenal's still top of the tiers.
We're still top of the tiers.
Even though we lost to Man City, it doesn't affect our league form. That's literally what I'm just gonna say because they didn't play. Be like, still top of the tiers.
Same as last week. Yep.
Because we didn't play, like, or forget the final, something along those lines. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, enjoy the international break, guys. Actually, I'm going to enjoy the international break. I know we've been thinking about, hey, it's bad to stew. I'm just going to accept it for what it was. We know that we have so much going on towards the back end of the season. Some of the best parts of this season are yet to come. That's the exciting part.
Absolutely.
I actually thought it would hurt me more, but sitting in the actual reality of it now, it doesn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
It stings. It definitely stings.
It stings, but I'm not like depressed or anxious or
no.
You know, there were nights this season where I was much more upset. Man United at home, I was
losing to Liverpool. I lost my shit when we lost. Yeah, when we went to Anfield and put in that performance, I said some really nasty things.
I think of the Man United at home game. I was the one where I was like, I have no words. I think I said also for Wolves, I had no words.
Yeah, I was pretty upset after Wolves.
That was our first ever post game show. That was hard, but you know, this for me, you know, it does sting. Yeah, drawing the Wolves broken more than this. Yeah. For me, performance hurts more than the defeat. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think it's because of the opponent. To be honest,
we'll
guys
get
are
there.
great.
We'll get there.
Don't
like Lauren says,
when we win the next one,
trust
y'all
the
will
process.
remember these days, and it will be so sweet. Trust the process. Yeah,
we'll be there.
Look,
we'll get there.
One less trophy that doesn't have red and white ribbons. Okay, fine.
And we're gonna win this one next year anyway, so it's all good.
Or in 2 years. Sometimes you never know with the draws and stuff. We'll win.
If you really love the Carabao, believe it, it'll come.
Yeah, we'll win the next final of the Carabao that we're in. I don't know.
There you go.
Big up, lads. Big ups to you 14 times. He's so funny. He hasn't rebutted me on the 14 times name the whole time. Because I think he's like, you know what? When we win the league, I am changing my name to 14 times.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a really good idea. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you for sticking with us. You know what? 14 times you've been here. There we are. We confirmation.
There he is. Yes, confirmation. Been here since the beginning. Big up.
Been here since the beginning. Been here through 2 hours and 5 minutes. So big ups to anybody. Thank you so much. It's been a hard night. Hope we helped you through this a little bit, through the therapy session a little bit. I've got Jake's therapist in here as well herself.
She is the best.
Check out the Cup Chasers and go check out his social media stuff. He does the best reels. Funny stuff. I've been enjoying it recently.
Go check out Lauren's Legends. This is also a YouTube channel that is very fun. Go check out Lauren's Legends. It's also a great channel.
Yeah. And by the way, Jake has his own reel now on Fire Them Cannons from yesterday, although it didn't really have much of an effect.
Didn't turn out the way we wanted.
Oh, I did the job for Lauren tonight, so you don't need to sit down on the old therapist couch. I did it.
Right.
Tell them about the one I filmed. Yeah, isn't that what we were talking about, or was it a different one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a she's filmed another one that I'm gonna be releasing soon, where she's talking about the green flags of being with an Arsenal fan, so like girlfriend or the wag of an Arsenal fan.
The wag.
It's about the green flags, because we're so loyal. We've been through so much. We're optimistic because it's always our year next year. Stuff like that. It's fun stuff.
Unless you're an Arteta outer, which is, one mistake and you're in the doghouse. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well.
See, I got jokes. I got jokes too. Anyway, that is all we have for today, guys. Yeah. Just relax, enjoy some international. Let's refresh, right? One advice I will say. Yeah,
a little bit.
This got weird. Let's refresh. Let's not stew for 2 weeks. That's my advice to you guys. You can do what you want, but I'm just saying. I've always kind of been like, oh, let's get this Super Carabao Cup final out of the way. I know why I felt that way the whole time. We've now gone past it. We got champions. We have FA Cup, Champions League, and by the way, the countdown is on.
7 games
to winning the title, which we have been craving for years. So the best is yet to come. Let's not allow anybody to think, hey, this is the start of the downfall. Blah 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 blah. I think this team has shown you already that we're beyond that.
Terry says that all the time, doesn't he? Touch grass.
Yeah, he does. Touch grass. You could take walks. I know my girlfriend is looking. She was like, "Hey, when's the next international, or when does the season end?"
Yeah,
not until May. But we got a 2-week break now.
Don't tell her about the World Cup.
No, she loves the World Cup. She loves it.
Yeah, well, it don't.
She's like the opposite of many people who hate international football but love club football. She's the other way around. She loves international football more than club football. Yeah.
And you guys cheer for Australia, obviously, right?
I cheer for England because my dad's English. I to be honest, there are so many nations. It's really Australia, the US, England, right? Whichever.
You gotta have a powerhouse in there, so you actually have some hope of winning the tournament.
England.
That's what I'm talking about.
I actually don't have an Australia or a US kit. I have England kits with Arsenal players on them, with Saka and with. I'm gonna get an Eze one too now. With the new one, gotta get. It's basically just converting Arsenal players, England internationals. I like her pretty have time to book a couple trips to the United States. Hey, we're trying to book a trip to Europe, so plenty of time.
I wouldn't mind going to Europe. Yeah, let's hit the parade, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got one less trophy at the parade now, unfortunately.
No worries.
We'll move on. Guys, take care, everybody. Again, we will be getting in contact coming towards you, even though during the break, but it's not going to be involving me lacking sleep. So that I'm happy about. Anyway, guys, until then, though, take care, and we're out.